If you're managing a lot of real estate, as a property manager, you don't want to go through all these different contracts yourself if you have a question across your portfolio. So we made Clara, and Clara can analyze across all your different contracts and answer certain questions you have for those contracts. So you can ask where you have the most exposure or what you're about to miss, and Clara sits on top of the whole portfolio and answers that. So with natural language, you can just have a conversation about your contract. So let's try it out and ask the question, which leases are expiring in the next 6 months? So let's type that in. Which leases are expiring in the next 6 months? And now Clara is going to query all your contracts, interpret what data is in there, and basically filtering on the next 6 months, and also seeing which contracts are basically leases in here. So as you can see, it's like getting the contract types, fetching several contracts, and you see what Clara is reasoning. So it's now checking for renewals, and Clara found one lease expiring in its next 6 months. So here we have it. End date is in September, and we can also click on that contract, and it brings you directly to this contract. And we can double check, of course, if Clara was right, but we have a end date of 15 September 2026. So let's try again with another question you might have. So maybe I want to know which counterparties I most interact with. So let's ask that question. Who are my biggest counterparties by number of contracts? So who am I doing most business with in terms of contracts? So Clara's going to search for your counterparties and search for the number of contracts and giving you back a informed decision here. And you can see Clara reasoning a bit. It's loading this information. It found 10 contracts in total. And it's counted specifically that the Hartford has 2 contracts, most of all the counterparties. And then Clara is even going to give you the next steps if you want to get more information. So Clara can also rank them by total annual value. So, or they can show just the active counterparties or the ones with contracts coming up for renewal soon. So it will give you suggestions on what might be informative next. So let's rank them by total annual value. Let's rank by total annual value. So Clara is now doing a summary over all these contracts, and actually we see that it's not the number of contracts that matters for this question, but of course the annual value of the contract. And then we see that the Lumen Dental Group has the highest annual value. So you can give this a try if you upload a few contracts in Contracko, whether that's like lease contracts or property management contracts. You can fill them all in, load them into Contracko. Contracko will analyze it per contract, but then across all these different contracts, you can ask Clara a question. But feel free to also just ask Clara a question on a specific contract, because Clara can also pull up specific contracts and the information within that contract. Contracko has a free trial available, so within that trial, you can try Clara out. Just visit our website and we will give you a free trial if you sign up.